Where do you stand on the Carmelo Anthony crisis? Now, guys, I'm calling it a crisis just because I really don't know what else to call it, but I call it this. I should have called it a situation. This situation is very interesting because this situation with Carmelo Anthony offing another kid, if I'm not mistaken, Austin Metcalf was the kid. They're both 17 years old. Carmelo Anthony had a knife on him, and he poked this kid a few times, or directly in the heart, excuse me. The kid bled out and passed away in his twin brother's arms. Austin Metcalf has a twin brother. All right. So that's setting the stage. I saw, when I initially read it, was two kids getting into a fight, and a knucklehead kid whipping out a weapon, and the other kid getting murked. Fine. And that's where I left it when I read it. Let the media get a hold of this and turned it into a black teen offs white teen, instead of just saying two teens got into it. So, of course, the media is drumming this up. But now, the dangerous part has started. The dangerous part of the black community, not all of the black community, but a large percentage of the black community, stating that it's time for black people to stand up to bullies. Apparently, Austin Metcalf was a bully, which a lot of that accusations have been unfounded. Someone brought up a good question. What if he was about to be jumped by Austin Metcalf's crew? Maybe that changes the story. Maybe then using a weapon is warranted if you're about to get jumped. But that wasn't the case either. Austin Metcalf was seemingly a good kid, and so was Carmelo Anthony up until that point. It was two teenagers getting into it, and one off the other one. And that's how I look at it. The black community is looking at it as a black kid defending himself against a white kid, and that he needed to do that for self-defense. And when you read it in different articles, I might add, including overseas, look at it, it was just a straightforward fight. So how is he defending himself, and how is this a bullying act? Now, again, if Metcalf was bullying Anthony in school for long, and they didn't even go to the same school, if I'm not mistaken, for a long period of time, I can get that, but that wasn't the case. There was no bullying to be had. But you still had people saying dumb shit like, oh, it's our time to stand. Good for the white kid. He should have never bothered Carmelo Anthony. And for those of you thinking, it's not Carmelo Anthony, the basketball player. It's Carmelo with a K, Anthony. 17-year-old kid, grew up in, I think it was Texas, and offed another kid. Carmelo Anthony's background, his family is on the level. They make money. They're not thugs. He wasn't raised as a thug. He wasn't raised as a banger. His family is the furthest thing from it. So what made this kid whip out a weapon and do that? That turns him into a thug, but he was not raised and or acting like a thug prior to that whole incident. So what would make a 17-year-old black kid carry a weapon when he comes from a good home, good family life? And yes, his father did say that he was a 3-point something average student when he wasn't. He was like a 2-point or 1 point something, whatever it was. Now, nonetheless, the kid was probably stupid, but still, where did this all come in? Now, of course, the race baiting is starting with the media, and then you got white folks going on, there's just like a black kid to carry a weapon, and then you got white people saying it's just like a white kid to bully a black kid. And this is where the problem lies. The constant division that doesn't give up. Every chance they get, the media, every chance they get, they turn whatever it is into a race issue. It was two kids that got into a fight, and one is gone. That's all it is. It had nothing to do with white or black, but the black community, the white community are turning into a race issue because the media is reporting it as such. Instead of just saying two teenagers got into a fight and one is now gone, that's not what they said. They said black kid stabs a white kid. And I'm like, and then the white kid passes away. I'm like, well, why would you say black and white when it was just two kids getting into it? And this is why a lot of us don't watch the media anymore, and we listen less of it because of shit like that. The constant racial tension that they like to keep because it boosts their ratings. This is why they do it. They do it for no other reason. And maybe they're part of the program and the elites wanting us to stay divided and trying to start this race war because they're really stretching with this one, reaching, excuse me, with this one. This one's a reach. Nonetheless, here we are. He had a GoFundMe for Carmelo Anthony, and the GoFundMe organization got rid of the fundraiser. But I heard that he fundraised money elsewhere. So he still raised over $150,000 elsewhere, wherever else they were raising the funds for this kid. But Metcalf had a fundraiser as well to pay, I guess, for the funeral costs or whatever it was. Carmelo Anthony should never have. And the problem is, guys, people are backing now this killer. They're now backing him and supporting his legal fees. This kid's going to jail. There is no way about it. You're putting all of that money into a fund that's not going to go anywhere. It might pay some of his legal fees, but the kid's going to go to jail. Unless they pull out a Hail Mary, this kid doesn't have a chance of fighting this case. Anyway, guys, this is The Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching the Angry Truth channel.